What's going on, everybody? It's Fire Monkey 469 here today, coming at you guys with a review for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And today I'm joined by my partner.
The one and only Young Savage.
Yes, sir. So we did go ahead and finally see Into the Spider-Verse this past weekend. So we're going to go ahead and start off with a quick synopsis of, the plot. And so essentially the story revolves around Miles Morales, and kind of his story of how he becomes Spider-Man. So in his universe, there's already a Spider-Man, right? But what happens is, and through some kind of adventure he's going through right now, he's like running away from school because previously he did get bitten by a spider, and that's also shown in the movie. The Spider-Man in his Earth, right, dies, and so because of this, he now feels the need to, avenge that Spider-Man, and kind of live up to the Spider-Man name. And throughout the story, we see him meet other Spider-Man as well. Because of the incident that caused, the Spider-Man to die from this universe involving the Kingpin, of course. And so essentially, kind of we see Miles Morales kind of try and learn from one of the Spider-Man. He's categorized as the 616 Spider-Man. Like that's his story essentially. Not the one we're following, just the one that comes from the different dimension. The Spider-Man 616. He's kind of like tutoring Miles Morales. So we kind of see like the story of him teaching Miles Morales to become Spider-Man. And like I said, along the way, we meet other Spider-Man as well, such as Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham, Noir Spider-Man, and some like anime weave looking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And so essentially, the story is for not only for Miles Morales to learn to become Spider-Man and live up to the Spider-Man of his universe, but to also stop the Kingpin from tearing like a hole in the dimensions and stuff because he's trying to get his wife and his kid back basically. So they have to stop him from doing all that, while at the same time, taking these Spider-Man from other dimensions into their own dimension, because if they stay in the one with Miles Morales, they're eventually like gonna die because their bodies aren't meant to handle another universe. So that's basically just kind of the basic plot. I know it was a little kind of out there and stuff, but I just wanted to, give you guys an idea of what kind of happened. Most of y'all should have already watched the movie anyway, so I'm sure y'all, understood it. So we're going to talk about what we kind of liked about the movie. You want to go ahead and start off, Young Savage?
Yes, for sure. So the movie itself was really good to all of us. Probably top 10 of what I've seen this year. I don't know. I might have to talk about top 10 movies seen this year on the next podcast. But
For sure, for sure.
one thing that I think we all agreed, we saw with another friend, that we liked was the animation style. So they
Oh
went
yeah,
for
dude,
like
for
a
sure.
like some type of live action comic book looking, not live action, but like a comic book, like the way a comic book is,
Animated
but like
comic book,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, there we go. That's the word I'm looking for. An animated comic book, and you could tell, like if you look closely on the skin and just the background, like the way the pixels were, or whatever, was really cool. One of my friends was saying it was like his favorite, like visually pleasing movie ever. I don't know if it was my favorite, but it was like up there. It just the way they did it was really cool, and we were talking about how we would want to see more movies done in this style because we think it would be really cool. Even from like there were scenes when he'd be falling and they'd add a trail behind him like a comic book
Yeah,
would.
yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was all really cool. One thing that I did like, which is like I guess more of a personal, not a lot of people out there would really be able to relate, but his ethnicity, how do you say it?
Ethnicity?
Ethnicity. There we go.
Ethnicity.
Been out of school for a weekend, you forget how to talk. But his dad was black and his mom was like his some form of Hispanic. I'd assume.
I think
So
it's just like Puerto Rican.
oh, it was Puerto
Yeah,
Rican.
Puerto
So it
Rican, I
was like
believe. Yeah,
very
something
like
like that.
similar to what I am. That's what like my friends were pointing out to me. And one of my friends had told me like, "Hey, Miles Morales is you," and I was like, "Oh, he kind of does look like me." But whenever I found out like his
Yeah.
parents were like that, I was like, "Oh, he really is me." So that was a really cool connection to me. One part that I did like was I never really like read any comics on Miles Morales. I knew a little bit about him, and I don't know where, but somehow I knew about the Prowler, but like it was his uncle, but I didn't know exactly how. So I really liked the
Neat.
way the movie showed that, and how his uncle was like actually the Prowler. When in the beginning we seen him as like the cool uncle that we all got that would like let us get a beer when your mom's not looking or something.
Well, yeah, yeah.
And it was like a turn for him to like be the villain, and then like he was like about to strangle him, but he let him go and then got shot. It was a really sad scene. But yeah, those were like the main couple things that I liked. What did you like about the movie Fire Monkey?
Yeah, so I completely agree on the point with the animation. I really like the different approach they took compared to other animated movies. They did go, how like in the old like comic books, whenever they like draw them and like color them, they'd use like dots, kind of. I don't know if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, I know what
Uh,
you're talking about.
yeah, yeah, kind of like on the old ones, and I think they did it to avoid having to use as much like color ink, so it kind of like
Mm.
made it easier on them. And so I like how they took that approach whenever they animated this movie because it kind of does have that old school comic feel with all the different colors. And I also like how colorful it was actually. A lot of the city
Oh
scenes
yeah.
as well. And like you said, with the whoosh and the sound effects and stuff, I really like the addition of that. Very cool, very creative. I hope they do continue to do more movies like that in the future. Like not just like a potential sequel to this, but other comic book movies. I think they should take the same approach. So in addition to that, I did like a lot of the kind of sad moments, because I do like emotional scenes in my movies. Like for me, like I almost cried whenever the first Peter Parker died. Like I know in the context of the movie, you don't get to know this Peter Parker. They give you a origin story for him, but we don't really get to kind of explore him as a character. But because like I know Spider-Man, so just see him die in general, giving his last goodbye, trying to tell Mars Morales to keep the name going, that kind of like, made me a little sad. And also the scene you mentioned with the Prowler dying as well, because, that's his cool uncle, of course. And just seeing his dad also, get upset because
Oh yeah.
I think, yeah, because you saw how like he was mad at Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Because his uncle died. Because I guess he thought like he might have killed him, but I'm sure like when he saw him in the suit, I'm sure he realized like, oh, he's a bad guy, or maybe he even knew beforehand, possibly. But like, I think even then, like because it's his brother, like, you just feel bad because family's family.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
yeah. So I mean, aside from the sad stuff and the animation, I did like a lot of the comedy they had. Especially with like Spider Ham. Him in general, he was a funny character. But then
Hmm.
the interactions that Mom Morales had, trying to be like Spider-Man, figuring out his powers, we saw a lot of that in the first Spider-Man movie, like the old ones, like when he's doing like the thwip thwip, trying to swing and stuff. We saw a lot of that
Yeah.
with Miles Morales, like when he's in school with Gwen Stacy actually, and then he's trying to like make the moves on her, and then he gets his hand stuck on her hair, and and then even before that, he hits her with that hey, so I thought a lot of the characters were really funny in their interactions. Miles Morales with Spider-Man, him teaching him, kind of the Spider-Man stuff. So all of that was really funny. And aside from that, I did like the story in general. Having different Spider-Man come into like one universe, trying to figure out how to work together and stop the universes from tearing apart. And all that. So yeah, that's what I like about the movie.
You almost cried whenever the first Peter Parker died.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, dude. Like he was like, "Ugh,
Boy.
here's the USB driver. Take it, save it, save them." And I was like, "Oh my god." I don't know.
Boy.
I
Oh,
thought it
one
was a
one
pretty emotional.
underrated thing that I forgot to mention was I low key like the soundtrack for it. It was pretty
Oh
good.
yeah,
I had seen some people say they didn't like it playing into the movies and they didn't like the Post Malone or something. But I don't know. I thought they were pretty good, especially that one Danger song and that one part whenever he was like learning how to really become a Spider Man. I felt like it suited that scene pretty well.
yeah. I like the song he had whenever he finally had his own suit on, and then he was
Yeah,
like swinging over. Yeah, that one. That's on hit. And then a couple other
yeah,
the tracks as well.
yeah. They were pretty good for that.
All right, so
So,
how about we get into the like? For me, there's not much that I didn't like. So, is there anything that you didn't like about the movie actually?
uh, like as we were saying this, I'm trying to think, and I can't really think of anything off the top. So, if you want, you can go first, and if I can come up with anything, I'll add it.
Oh,
Cause,
okay. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so since the movie is kind of like, I only watched it 2 days ago at this point, and obviously, like, when you watch a movie, you kind of get the hype, like, right off the bat. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. So it's also hard for me to find any
yeah,
negatives
definitely.
with the movie. And in general, like, this is a really, like, really well put movie. Like, it might be my favorite Spider-Man movie on the low.
Dang.
So yeah, like, on the low, like, I might have to think about it a little more throughout the days. Just like maybe even watch it again sometime this week so I can fully put my thoughts into it. You know, some stuff happened, so I kind of forgot some of the details of the movie.
Yeah, true,
Uh,
true.
but in general, like I
Let me
also
think.
can't really think of anything bad. You know, when I really start thinking about, because it's a really well put movie. I like the characterization of a lot of them. I mean, yeah, I wish like I could have seen some of the characters do a little more.
Yeah, low
Because
key.
I did like the Spider-Man noir character because like
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen
he
him in
was pretty
some
cool.
comics. I thought it was pretty cool. So I do wish
Yeah.
like we could have seen a little more of the other Spider-Man. But I don't think that necessarily even makes the movie bad. You
Yeah.
know, uh, because in general, like the Spider-Man that they did focus on, which was Miles Morales, Peter B. Parker from Earth 616, because we got to know his story the most. You know, like we got to focus on those, so I understand that they couldn't focus too much. But I mean, really, that's my only complaint that we didn't get to see much of the other Spider-Man in action, aside from like the last fight scene at the end. And then maybe like I would have got wanted to have maybe a couple more interactions with the Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, just because like I don't know if they did the thing with Peter B. Parker where like Gwen Stacy died on his like universe, because if they did, I think that would have been like kind of something interesting to bring up, like, oh hey, I let Gwen die, and he's like, oh that's crazy because I let Peter die. So maybe like it'd be a chance for them to kind of talk to each other. I don't know. I think that would have been
Yeah.
interesting. But I mean, aside from that, those are just kind of nitpicks. So there's no real complaints I have. I probably have to watch the movie a second or third time, before I even find anything bad.
Uh,
But were you ever come up with anything?
yeah. So, well, you wrote on. Yeah, I think also maybe getting to see the movie a couple times would definitely clear it up. Maybe watching it once in 3D, low key,
Hmm.
because there were
Oh
some
yeah,
scenes that seemed like it'd be perfect for 3D. So maybe
yeah.
that.
I almost thought when we started the movie that we accidentally went into a 3D movie because a lot of the
Yeah.
effects they had. Yeah.
But other than that, low key, I wish that Spider Gwen would have kissed him at the end. I don't know. It
Oh,
would have been
dude. Yeah.
fitting.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, like it seemed like they have been leading up to this to where I don't know where they had like a pretty like
A
I
low
don't know
key
like one of
romance
those
going
like
on.
yeah
Yeah.
low key romances going on and like before she goes to her universe we'll never see her again. She gives him a kiss, but they're like, nah, chief, not this time. So
Maybe in a sequel they'll eventually do that. I feel.
yeah. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens with that. But like yeah, I mean it's not really a bad thing, but it would have been nice to get the what is it, the word, the icing on the cake, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, to
For
have
sure.
that have happened. But other than that, I don't really have any complaints. Like I can't really think of anything that I just didn't like. The voice actors were good. Like the
Yeah.
movie looked good. The plot was good. Like everything was just good. So there's no real like big complaints for me.
Honestly, same, dude. Like, this is definitely a 10 out of 10 movie for me, dude. Like, if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, if you like, honestly, like, I just really enjoyed the movie, dude. So, like, if you haven't
Yeah.
seen it, like, I don't know why y'all are seeing it without, like, why y'all haven't seen it yet, because we just kind of spoiled it all. But like, if y'all haven't seen it, see it, and if y'all
Yeah,
have seen it,
definitely.
see it again for the one time,
Cuz
because
even
like I said, yeah,
what I was gonna say was even if like if you hadn't seen it and you just watched our review, like our words don't like put the movie all the way to justice. Like you gotta watch it to be able to see like
exactly,
what
dude.
we're talking about with the comic book animations and stuff. So
And the
definitely go give
music
that
as
movie a
well,
try.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is it's a pretty good movie. Definitely one of my favorites from this year at the very least. Like I said, probably gonna have to watch it a couple more times so I can get like a full, kind of feeling for it. But
Yeah.
those are just my current thoughts as of now. Kind of this review, first reaction kind of thing we got.
Yeah, definitely. So what's your ranking of it? Or was your like 10 out of 10 your ranking, or are you gonna do a more?
I guess when we, because we usually
I think we do
little
it a 5.
rankings. We usually do out of five. I think when we did the Infinity Stones, well, that was five as well, right? There's five Infinity Stones.
I think 6.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Six, yeah. So when we did the Avengers video, we did like out of six, but
Yeah.
we're gonna stick to five for this video. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and give it five spiders out of five. That's just me
Dang.
because I really like. I cannot find anything I don't like about this movie. It's just entertaining all the way around. Like maybe at the beginning it might have felt a little slow, but even then, like it still had its entertaining things to it. Kind of
Yeah.
Miles Morales figuring out. Not only that, but like I like the relationship he had with his dad and stuff like that. So It's a good movie. It's a good movie for me. What about you?
Yeah, for me, like I said, there was nothing really wrong with the movie. Like I loved it, but it wasn't my favorite movie ever. Like there was nothing wrong with it, but it wasn't like a godly 5 out of 5 to me. I'd probably give it a like. This will make sense. I'll probably tell you after. I don't know if we'll end up doing it, but I think I'm gonna give it more like a 4.3 because of something else that makes me like I don't know. It's just like there's other movies that I like more, but it was like there's
Hmm.
nothing wrong, you know.
Yeah,
So I
I
think
feel
I'll
you.
give it like a 4.3 stars out of 5, or not stars, spider whatever spider people out of 5.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's my ranking.
Uh,
So
yeah, we might like. Yeah, I was just gonna say we might talk a little bit more about it on the next podcast we make.
yeah, low
Um,
key.
just kind of just expand on it a little more because we don't want these reviews to be like 40 minutes. Like I know the Avengers one was like that, but we want to keep these general a little more closed with our thoughts and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
All
But
right, guys. So that's gonna be the review for
yeah,
today. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Like I said, if you haven't checked out the movie, be sure to check it out. I haven't watched Aquaman yet, but I know Young Savage has. So whenever I also watch it, we're gonna go ahead and make a review for that as well.
yeah, for sure,
And
for sure.
yeah, it's been the video. Hope you guys have a good Christmas, New Year's. Don't know when this video is gonna be coming up, but hope y'all have a good with that. And we will see you in the next one, guys. Peace
Yeah,
out.
see you guys later. Bye.
Ooh.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating.